Starting off, we got a comment from G Miffy saying, suggested topic for the podcast. Talk about content creation on Twitch and YouTube, but more about how you started and the initial grind. Getting to know the struggles and the actual initial process would help many aspiring content creators. Let me expand this a little bit because I think he worded it a little bit differently in this one than he worded it on my stream. He actually asked me this question on stream to be in the podcast. I was like, that's a really good one. I'm going to try to remember that one. And he was mainly asking me on stream, what we always hear, especially in the first episode, we always hear, okay, what was the first thing you did to start your channel? And what was the thing that like made you blow up or whatever? If we blew up, I don't know. But I don't know if you can say that with our stuff. But, you always get like the beginning and the end, right? You get the beginning bit of where you came from, and then you get the end of like, oh, when people finally started watching your videos. Not really blowing up, just when people finally started watching. But you never really hear like the struggle bit. Like, what's a year for you off this question? What is a year for you where you feel like looking back on it was like the struggle year in terms of content creation? Is it now? It could be even now.
For those of you who got the video on this,
Yeah.
he put his hands up, one here, one about 5 feet or 3 feet apart.
6.
Well, for you, you got the wingspan of a freaking eagle.
No,
so
six,
I'm over
zeros
here.
down.
I got these little T-Rex arms going over
I was
here.
doing the 6 feet apart.
Oh, that's what it was. Anyway, my point was the space between the start and the finish.
Yeah.
You already answered the question. That space between when you start and when everyone sees you is the struggle. That is that is it. That is the whole. You just described
my man
it.
just destroyed me. That was crazy.
Okay, because people don't see the part where you are struggling, usually, because they only seen you once you made it.
Yeah.
If you look at anyone else, like anyone who's made it in any kind of industry, 9 times out of 10, there's so much before that you don't know about because they're grinding and trying and failing and trying and failing and struggling to make it.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, I think for my MC Sport Talk, right? Because that's just one thing now of many things that I'm trying to do. I don't know if there was ever a struggle for that because that started as true passion.
Yeah.
And it became a job. I never was like, yo, this is what I'm going to become a mega YouTuber. I never dreamed or thought that was going to be my career.
Yeah.
And I'm still not a mega YouTuber, just to denote that. But it kind of, I just like doing it and I did it for fun. And then it became a job and I stuck with it. And that's what, now it's led to all this other stuff. But right now, I've basically clean slate restarted last year.
Mm-hmm.
We sold Top 10 Trends. And after that, I basically took a year off of YouTube. I didn't post much at all or do anything. And we basically were planning to build this new company. So this past year for me has been the struggle. And it's ongoing. I think this past week, to be honest with you, it's crazy as it sounds that we're starting this podcast now. I feel like we're hitting a stride. I think we're hitting our first little break, you could call it.
Yeah. Because you have a place you can vent now.
Well, not even because of this, just mean like things are starting to happen. Like,
yeah,
I think I've done enough to know when you can see things that are happening. It's like kind of a sign that it's going somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I think we're seeing that right now. Whether or not it's public or I'm talking about it all the time on social that everyone else knows of, like it's happening behind the scenes and I'm super thrilled about that. But to me, the struggle is just the time from whenever you say I'm going to do it to making it to your break. Or making it to something that you're proud of or a success point or whatever you want to call it. And the hard part about the struggle is you have to keep going when shit's not working.
Dude, I wish I could tell people this.
That's it.
I wish I could tell people this all the time. If you are an aspiring content creator, honestly, whatever you're doing on the internet, if you're doing something on the internet, this advice might not be good past the internet. I'm not sure. But just in terms of getting people to listen or watch your stuff, right? It is absolutely a consistency of don't let it get to you if it doesn't work out the first time. I can't tell you how many times I've uploaded a video and I'm like, that didn't do super well. And then you get into a mindset of, well, now I'm sort of discouraged and now I don't want to do more of it because that one thing that I was like, I've seen people all the time, they'll spend months on an idea and they'll be like, oh, it didn't really work out that well. And then they'll just scrap it.
Yeah.
And go to another idea and then spend another month or two on another idea and just be super inconsistent with uploading or whatever they're doing. And at the end of the day, it's just, if you have a passion for it and you just do it and just keep doing it, that's when I feel like you see a lot of like reward for your effort, is when you kind of look past the failures of it the first time. Something that I've realized recently, especially when I read this question, G Miffy, is some of the worst years I think I ever felt as a good example is 2016. 2016 is such a perfect example of my YouTube stuff. I thought that year, every video I made, I was like, these are garbage. These are trash. Like these are not, like, every time we recorded a video, it was like, oh man, it's just not that, like, it's just going to take a long time to edit. It's just not that funny. I don't think people are enjoying my channel too much. Still to this day now, a lot of people think my 2016 content was like the best out of all of it. And I don't know how that happened, but it makes me think a lot about the fact that a lot of it is just really the mental struggle in your own head about it. It's more about getting over the fear of, oh, this is not working. Oh, I don't think people are going to like this. Half the time you think something sucks and other people might think it's amazing. Like, we might look at the podcast and be like, yo, that was trash. But then maybe somebody out there is like, yo, I really liked listening to it. Yeah. Like, honestly, like for us with the first episode, it's like, yo, was that good? I don't know. Like, we thought it was pretty good. Yeah. But you know, we might have like an error or two here and we're like, dang, I hope it's okay. And then you guys have been super supportive on the podcast already. And we're just like, yo, what the heck? That's amazing. Like that really like blows my mind. We didn't expect that many people to be super supportive of it.
It does go both ways with that though.
Yeah.
There are times where you'll make, I mean, I know for this for sure.
You'll spend hours on something.
A long time working on something and it doesn't go well, or people don't appreciate it the way that you felt about it. And that's just, you know, being subjective. Like, everyone's got their own opinion. That's just how it's going to go. Mm-hmm. But I think to speak to the struggle more, like, good things take time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes consistency. And they've probably heard this by now if you've asked this question before, because the answer is going to be the same a lot of the time. Consistency is everything.
Yeah.
The people that make it are the people that have stuck through long enough to fail it multiple times and not get where they wanted to go long enough to get somewhere. It just, sometimes you need a little bit of luck and you need to keep putting the effort in.
Yeah.
Not giving up on it.
Yeah. Your favorite creators are probably uploading all the time and they stick with it. And that's why they're in that position, to be honest, is because they stick with it and they keep going. And they don't get discouraged if something doesn't work out. They just either try something else really quickly, or they keep working on the thing that they got discouraged about and eventually works.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going, no matter how, if you're passionate about it. If you don't really care that much, I mean, there's no point doing it in the first place. But if it's something that you care strongly about, even if it's not content creation, anything, keep going. Keep your head up and keep going. That's the advice.
Motivational speeches on these episodes.
Oh man, I could do this all day. I love this shit.
Guys, again, want to ask us questions or have topic ideas, always feel free to leave them in the comments below on YouTube, or send us a tweet or something on Twitter with a topic idea. Hell, on Insta, literally any place, we're probably going to see it.
Send a pigeon.
Send a pigeon.
Whatever you got to do.
That's right. Yeah. Send a pigeon.